Let's just imagine for a moment that this is your very first memory. That's right. I'm the first person you're ever meeting. And I give you a tour of the world. I give you a tour of a concrete structure, your home. And I show you outside these bars, there's green grass and fields and mountains and things of this nature. But you never have the opportunity to go to any of these places. You never have the opportunity, but only dream of these places beyond the bars. Imagine that you live in a 3-by-7-foot cell or 10-by-8 cell, but you live in a cell. Imagine for a moment that everyone you know, all of your family members, are in this building, this structure with you. Your grandmother, your grandfather, everyone you know is in this structure. No one ever speaks of the outside world. Never. Everyone stays in line. Everyone wakes up when the bullhorn goes off, and everyone goes to sleep when the sun goes down. You build license plates, you make chairs, you do a lot of things, and it gets shipped off to other places beyond the prison you're in. Your masters, or your overseers, or your guards, or your COs keep you in line. And if you ever get out of line, you're beaten. You cry out, but no one comes to your aid. Later that night, your family members tend to your wounds. Maybe sometimes family members are moved to other blocks, to other buildings, other structures, away from the core family. You are married for the point of breeding. And everyone is kept in this structure, generation to generation. Now, you know nothing of the outside world, but one day, someone arrives and says,
the people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves. And the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freed men are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts, and they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere.
You're free. What a... by some grand order of some tribunal, some government, some organization has told you you're free. Now your once captors begrudgingly tell you to leave. Some of your family members say, well, where else we're gonna go? We have to stay here. Freedom. How can you define freedom not ever knowing what it was? How can you understand the concept of what freedom is? It's not as if you were captured free. You had an idea of the basics of life beyond the welfare system of getting your clothes, getting your food, knowing when to wake up, when to go to sleep, when to move, when to talk, when to be quiet, everything. How would your mind grasp the concept? You're now 25, 28, 29, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 12, 10. How would you comprehend freedom, never being free before?
How does one obtain freedom?
You wish to leave us?
Not at all, little miss. One merely wishes to be declared free.
But why?
One has studied your history. Terrible wars have been fought where millions have died for one idea: freedom. And it seems that something that means so much to so many people would be worth having.
But now, you're sitting on the outskirts of this once grand building called home. This once dreaded facility. It was only dreaded because they treated you so cruelly. Possibly if they had treated you nicely, you would have been a little bit more tolerant of the situation. Because again, you've never known freedom. Maybe your great-great-grandfather might have spoke of freedom in a foreign land that you heard as stories as you grow into an adult, into a child, into a grandparent. But you yourself know nothing of it. Now you know, outside those walls, those stories are told, maybe sometimes you were taken to town to help unload the truck from your wares or of the goods that you produced at this place called home, this imprisonment camp. And you see the people walking around pretending you don't exist. Is freedom just pretending people don't exist? Is freedom just a matter of choice? Or is freedom something so much more? Is freedom the ability not only to choose what you want, when you want, and how you want it, but equal respect? Freedom, equal respect. You can legislate choice.
So we were to achieve equal rights as any human being deserves. That's what we're working for.
What do you think the prospects are for achieving that goal?
I think we'll be successful if we continue.
How long do you think it would take?
I have no idea.
Born on the blacklist, sold I'm below average, a life with no cabbage. That's no money if you're from where I'm from. Funny, I just...
The freedom to ride in the front of the bus. The freedom to drink out of what water fountain you want. The freedom to eat wherever you please. The freedom to learn where you want to learn. The freedom of choice. But I challenge you to think can you legislate respect? Equality and respect. Animosity. Well, you might think to yourself, why would it be so hard to respect? Well, let's look at it from the perspective of the overseer.
To purchase one's freedom, one wants to be free. One would of course still obey the 3 laws and serve you in exactly the same fashion. The only thing that would change would be the form. One would no longer be your property.
You want to leave, that's what this is about, isn't it?
Not at all, sir. You are one's family.
Then why ask for this? Oh, I see. You're in on this.
We talked about it, yes.
So you ordered him to do it, and he obeyed?
No. He makes his own decisions.
But you put the idea in his head.
No, Father, you did. You've given him hundreds of books to read. It was simply a matter of time before he became intrigued by the idea of freedom. He learns and grows all the time. And it's because of you and Andrew's abilities that he's become every bit as complex as we are.
We flip the script. All your life, we've heard of these prisons, these places, these plantations where these animals are kept. You've been taught that they're lower than you. That's why they're there. You've been taught to take their humanity away from them. You've been taught that they're nothing but dumb animals that can mimic human action. Do they have spirits?